real quick. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. Just have to say that. You know,
Rest in peace.
you may have not heard, or you may have already, but Kevin Samuels was a content creator, YouTuber, streamer, and or live streamer, and he basically preached a message of multiple things, but mostly towards men, that you should carry yourself with discipline, integrity, morals, and ethics, and that stretches into all sorts of behaviors in our lives that typically, I think, especially in this era, young men, we ignore areas like, your appearance, your image, how you look towards others, how you act with your friends, what kind of friends you keep around, the sort of actions and moves you probably should be making as a young person, the actions and moves you should be making as a 30 plus year old person, 40 plus year old person. He gave people, men and women, that perspective of, hey, this is a way of life that is long forgotten and not much talked about today in our current zeitgeist, in our current sphere, and here it is. This is how people used to do things. This is how, quote unquote, the normal life works. And he was preaching that towards people, black people particularly, but Americans at large, who I believe were devoid of messages like this, devoid of anybody telling them that, well, what you're doing is wrong. A lot of what you're doing is wrong. A lot of what you're doing is based in selfishness. And it's also based in low self-esteem. And it's also based in many different things of low character, just not living your best. And I think there's an importance to that. He preached that. So I do believe, by listening to this man's message, he changed my life. Rest in peace to this man. I don't want to breathe air to any sort of conspiracies or anything like that. It's a lot floating around. I just do want to say the facts. He's dead. And while he was with us, this man really, I believe, left a permanent mark that we're going to feel the reverberations of for years to come. Yeah. I have a clip I just wanted to play. My cousin Jason sent it to me. I'm sorry if if our mics are like hot. I think they were like mad hot. Yeah, there we go. Let's like turn that down a little bit. I'm gonna play this clip of Kevin Samuels. He definitely left a mark, is what it says here. I just want to get this enlarged, but yeah, this was a hard one for me. This was a hard one for me to accept, honestly. He was just a content creator. He was just a guy from some room somewhere speaking, but the messages he left behind were, to me, so profound, and they were so moving. I think they were everything I needed to hear at the times I heard them during the pandemic, especially, is when he blew up, 2020, 2021, and we're here now in 2022. And he's passed. It's as quick as he came in, it's as quick as he's gone. And this one is it was a shock. So yeah, let me play some of his words here. And oh my man, this guy would get on his lives and preach to people. He would rant. He would I wouldn't say rant. He would preach, man. He wouldn't call it that, but
What would he call it?
He would just call it, being in the field where the work is real, talking to people. He would just say one man talking to women. That's what he would say, just talking to people. He was not he wouldn't big himself up like he was doing some kind of godly work. A lot of people would tell him that, but he would just say, no, like this is just our program, our timing. He had structure. He implemented a sort of faith in this authority that actually brought you good things when you listen to it. We could say a lot for people and their belief in religion, and their belief in God, and how maybe that can be misguided, and how that can be put into places of evil actually. But this man was preaching things that when you followed what he said, you actually did get better results. And that was evident from the fact that he helped many people get married, close to a dozen, if I remember the count. It was about 9 couples, and I believe I could be totally wrong about that. I could be embellishing numbers and remembering, or misremembering, but also just preaching a message that I think, maybe the people he might have talked to would have gave him a lot of heat and flack and flame and vitriol, but the people listening. And I always think about this line from Dr. Phil. Say what you want about Dr. Phil, and there's a lot to say, like fake doctor, but
well, I mean, is Dr. Phil a fake doctor?
No, I mean, I believe I've seen a whole bunch of videos
but doesn't he
about
have
just exactly that. Exactly. I believe his credentials, I don't want to speak out of term, and I really ought to get to this video.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, no, we'll get to it.
Yes, I want to see black men and black women together, but I want to see black women valuing black men as black men deserve to be valued. Black men, you are worthy. You have done great things in the last 20 or 30 years. You've taken your image back from cops, deadbeat dads, and everything else. You've stepped up to the challenge, and this is your time. This is your time. The gender war is over. Average at best happened in 2021. That is over. 2022, we're going into it. Self-awareness is sexy. Men are going to show the work, and women are going to show their worth. We're going to move forward. We're going to move forward, and if you want to move forward together with us, men are there waiting for you. Men are there working for you, but you're going to earn your spot because he has to earn his value. Yes, I want to see black men and black women together, but I want...
Well, yeah. So that was a small piece of what the dude represented. There he was talking directly towards black people, but he really did often speak, and mostly speak towards the broader audience and make sure to include them. But yeah, in America, black people have issues. Everywhere, black people have issues, and it's not enough to just state that. We must do something. We don't have to change the whole world. We don't have to change, we don't have to change everything. But we must strive and push forward, changing ourselves and at least those around us immediately. Yeah. So rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, man. I've felt every emotion on this, as my cousin Jason would say. I've cried. I was angry. I was asking why. Pleading. Really seemed unfair, but I've come to now just accepting it, and it's been a few days. I believe this news was announced on
Thursday.
Maybe,
I would like to say Thursday.
Today's Sunday, then about Thursday. Whenever Cinco de Mayo was, just about Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, or May 4th, really, night of May 4th. Rest in peace, sir. Rest in peace. Yeah. Yeah. We've got T.I.'s apparently. I don't know who asked T.I. for his thoughts on this, but that's not funny. But T.I. has some thoughts on Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, man.
His passing.
You can't don't try to make a joke on T.I. giving his thoughts on Kevin Samuels, man. That's like someone joking on you. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Let's hear what Tip got to say, man, about Kevin Samuels.